Daniel stood by his mother's grave, gripped by grief and a relentless urge to unearth her coffin. Since her burial, he had been tormented by unsettling dreams and an unshakable sense that something was wrong. His bond with his mother was strong, and the longing to see her one last time had become unbearable. After days of internal struggle, he turned to Father Michael, the local priest who had known their family for years. With bloodshot eyes from sleepless nights, he pleaded, "Father Michael, I need to see my mother again. I don't know why, but something inside me tells me I have to open her coffin." Daniel was resolute in his determination to unearth the coffin, refusing to accept any refusal. A few days later, he stood at the cemetery, gazing at his mother's coffin, freshly exhumed from its resting place. With Father Michael's arrival, Daniel was caught in the act, as the priest had received reports of a grave robber. However, when Daniel revealed the coffin's contents to Father Michael, the priest gasped. "I need to call the police," he whispered. The reasons behind Daniel's desire to dig up his mother's coffin and the startling discovery inside it remain a mystery, prompting the call to the police. "That's it. I just have to do something. I can't ignore this any longer," Daniel thought to himself as he woke up from another dream about his mother. She suddenly passed away after getting in a terrible car accident a couple of months ago, and he simply could not deal with the fact that his mother was gone. "This has to be some kind of sign," he thought to himself. It took Daniel a few days to finally approach Father Michael and ask him for help. He knew that what he was asking was completely crazy, but he saw no other way out. "Father Michael, I keep dreaming about my mother, and it's always the exact same dream. It starts with me entering the cemetery and walking to her grave. Then, after standing next to it and talking to her for a while, I suddenly hear her voice saying, 'Help me.' So I dig up the coffin, and I open it, but when I look inside, I always see the same thing." When Daniel finished telling Father Michael about his dream, he told him, "Daniel, I can assure you that that is simply impossible. You were there during her funeral. I know what you are about to ask me, but let me save you the trouble. The answer is no. I'm sorry, but we are not going to dig up her coffin just because of your dreams." Father Michael sounded very resolute, but Daniel was not going to give up just yet. "Please," he begged him. But Father Michael told him, "I am sorry, Daniel. I would do anything to help you, but you are really taking it too far. I cannot authorize this." And then he left. "I'm going to help you, Mom," he whispered. He was determined to dig up that coffin with or without Father Michael's help. He left the church and went home, already thinking of the best way to carry out his plan. He decided that he was going to do it on Sunday during Mass. Father Michael would be at church, and he would not find out about his plan until it was already carried out. Finally, Sunday came. Daniel got up early and made his way to the cemetery and found his mother's grave. He looked around, but there was nobody else to be seen in the cemetery at this time of day. He took a deep breath and got to work, hoping that he had made the right decision. He started digging and digging, and finally, he hit something hard. He wiped the dirt off the coffin and attached it to the straps he had brought with him, using a lifting machine that he rented. He carefully lifted the coffin out of the grave and placed it on the ground next to it. He took a deep breath as he laid his hands on the coffin, ready to finally open it. This would be the moment of truth. But before he could even try to open it, he heard a voice behind him saying, "You have a big problem, Daniel." As he turned, the imposing figure of Father Michael stood outlined against the dim light of the street lamp. "I can explain," Daniel's voice quivered, echoing among the tombstones. Father Michael, for all his stern demeanor, felt a twinge of empathy. Drawing a deep breath, Father Michael said, "You can continue, but once you're done, I'll need to notify the authorities." The priest's words weighed on Daniel like stones. Was he betraying his mother's memory? The decision was made. It was time to face the truth, whatever it might be. With trembling hands, Daniel attempted to open the coffin at last. With one final effort, the coffin's lid creaked open, revealing a narrow sliver of its insides. The silence was broken by a thought both dreaded to voice. Did the church know? Daniel questioned, eyes piercing Father Michael's. A police car arrived, and two officers stepped out, their faces a mask of professionalism but their eyes betraying curiosity. The officers approached the coffin with caution. They took turns inspecting the emptiness within, their demeanor a blend of skepticism and genuine curiosity. The police exchanged glances, their faces betraying the depth of their confusion. The empty coffin, a grieving son, and a protective priest. How did the pieces fit? Inside his room, Daniel carefully pulled out a well-worn envelope from his pocket, the secret item he'd managed to take from the coffin before the authorities arrived. There was something about it that made his heart race with anticipation. Tearing open the envelope, Daniel found a photo of his mother, younger and vibrant, alongside an unfamiliar man. Scribbled on the back were coordinates and a date. Could this be evidence of a life she led before her supposed death? Digging through old family diaries and journals, Daniel looked for any reference to the lies or the cryptic meeting. As midnight approached and Daniel's room was filled with papers and notes, a soft knock broke his concentration. Peering out the window, he saw the silhouettes of two figures, their faces obscured. Their arrival wasn't random, it was tied to the secret he was uncovering. The moonlight barely revealed the visitor's features. "We are of the same blood," the taller one whispered, revealing a pendant that mirrored one Daniel had seen in old family photos. Sitting in the dimly lit living room, the visitors began to speak, their tales intertwined with Daniel's, speaking of secret societies, clandestine meetings, and an ancestral treasure. The letter was a mere introduction to a tale far grander than Daniel had imagined. Spreading out an old parchment worn by age, the trio began tracing routes under the starry sky. Their journey led them to an old, forgotten district of their city where buildings whispered tales of bygone eras. In the moonlit square, the trio discovered an ancient cellar door, nearly consumed by the passage of time. With bated breath, they opened the portal to a world untouched by the years. The cellar led them into a vast underground maze. Relying on the letter and their collective knowledge, they navigated the labyrinth, facing puzzles that tested their intellect and determination. The walls of the maze narrated their family's history, with murals depicting crucial moments in their lineage. These artworks revealed both the honor and betrayals of their ancestors, providing a deeper understanding of the story introduced by the letter. The passages eventually led them to a grand chamber, adorned with intricate carvings. In the center, an ornate pedestal held a beautifully crafted box that seemed to resonate with ancient energy. With hands trembling, Daniel opened the box to find not jewels or gold, but a letter. The words on the paper danced with promises and prophecies, indicating that their journey was far from over. It was an invitation to a future where the mysteries and weight of the past would continue to guide their path. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you liked this video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.